Earnings season is officially kicking off this week with the big banks. You know the story. Now, some of them have weakened a bit recently since even with the Fed raising, but they should be reporting good earnings reports here, right? The economy, the strongest it's been in a couple decades, record low or near record low unemployment rate, and the Fed, again, raising rates. This should be a good combination for the banks, but we're going to find out this week and into next week what's really going on. So let's jump right in. First one out the gate is Wells Fargo. Now, this is the one I say every quarter that is the least liked, obviously, out of the big banks. It did miss last quarter, and it has a little bit spottier record of beating versus missing, as you can see with those red arrows on this chart. Shares have been all over the place, so it's been quite a roller coaster with this one. Looks like the street and investors in general don't really believe that things have turned around here yet, just given what this chart looks like. But this is one that maybe has a little more opportunity than some of the others, so you don't want to miss it. Then we're going to switch over to one of the ones that has a much better chart here, Citigroup. And as you can see, this is kind of the typical chart we see with a lot of the other big banks other than Wells Fargo, where the shares got the boost after the election in 2016, then they were off the races in 2017, and then 2018 has been a little bit more of a mixed bag. So these are off their highs, but they still keep beating every quarter and have the really great track record. That last miss all the way back in 2015. So this is definitely one to keep on your watch list. Then we're going to switch over to PNC Financial. Now, this is not necessarily one of the ones lumped in with all the bigger national banks, but it's one of the biggest regional banks headquartered in Pittsburgh with a $65 billion market cap. It ranks right up there. And it's got this great earnings track record, only the one miss, marring its otherwise great performance here in 2016. And these shares also off their high, so could be looking at a deal here with this one too. And then we're going to switch over to JP Morgan, which is what I consider to be maybe the gold standard now of the big banks. As you can see, this has one of the better charts, even though things have gotten, like the other ones, rocky here in 2018. But it's holding on to most of those gains, waiting for a reason to go higher. I own this one in the value investor portfolio, and I kind of like that it's pulled back and then is kind of just treading water a little bit here, because this could be a buying opportunity in this one as well, but we'll wait to see what they say. Then I'm going to round it out with one of the banks I usually don't cover because they go the next week, and it is Bank of America. But this too has a very nice chart, just like JP Morgan. It's last missed there in 2016, but otherwise it's got this perfect record of meeting or beating. And it too is holding on to most of its gains here in 2018. So a lot of investors appear to be taking like a wait and see approach with some of the bigger names that have a better reputation, let's just say, and that would be Bank of America and JP Morgan. So as I said, the bank stocks kind of all over the place here with these big cap banks, but there could be an opportunity because they are all cheap. So you want to be tuning in if you're a value investor for sure. But even if you're not, we need the banks to take it up a notch and to rally here if this overall rally is going to continue. Usually the financials are what lead stock rallies, so the banks are perfectly positioned to do that. But we'll be watching them and everything else all this earnings season. I'm excited to see what happens, what's said on the conference call, and what kind of guidance they're giving now, because we might begin to get a little bit of guidance for 2019 as we go through this earnings season. So you don't want to miss any of these videos. You can get them on Zacks.com and also subscribe on YouTube to get them over there. And otherwise, I'll be back every week with some more earnings videos with all the hottest names, including those FANG stocks, coming up soon. So you don't want to miss a single episode.